the inverted forest. I never had a reason to fear trees. I actually grew up around them, spending afternoons climbing their branches, carving my initials into their bark, lying beneath their shade. But since that day, I can't look at a forest without feeling something shift deep inside me, a strange kind of vertigo, as if the ground could flip upside down at any moment. It all started on an autumn afternoon. I was part of a small group of university hikers. Julia, Mateo, Esteban, and me. We always chose paths that were barely marked, rarely traveled. We didn't want Instagram-worthy photos. We wanted what never made it into the tourist brochures. That time, we picked a mountainous area down south, a place with no name on the map, just GPS coordinates passed along from hiker to hiker. Before we left, an old man from a nearby village gave us a warning. Not dramatically, just the way someone would remind you to bring enough water or wear good boots. When you reach the black trees, keep going straight. Never take the path to the left. That trail doesn't exist, he said, then walked away. And like the idiots we were, we went left. It felt like a joke at first, something to challenge a myth. Esteban laughed, cracking jokes about curses. Julia gave one of her tight-lipped smiles, the kind she wore when she was scared but trying to seem brave. Mateo, ever the skeptic, shrugged and said the old man was probably just trying to keep people away from private land. The trail to the left was narrow, the air thick with low, creeping fog. At first, everything seemed normal. Silent, sure, but forests are often quiet. Then we saw it. The trees no longer grew from the ground. They hung from the sky. I don't know how else to say it. This wasn't a trick of the light or a hallucination. The trunks sprouted from a mass of earth suspended overhead, with roots stretching downward like veins, almost touching the misty forest floor. There was no sky, just more earth above us, inverted, silent, alive. We froze. A crushing kind of stillness settled over us, like the forest itself was holding its breath. Mateo muttered something about magnetic fields or spatial anomalies, half joking, half convinced. We kept walking, but not by choice. When we turned around, the trail we had come from was gone, vanished. In its place, more fog, more upside-down trees, more impossible quiet. That's when the sound started. At first, soft footsteps with no clear source. Then whispers rising from below or above. I honestly couldn't tell anymore. Julia covered her ears and said someone was speaking to her in a language she couldn't understand. Mateo pointed up at the root ceiling and whispered, "There's someone up there." I looked and saw it too. A figure, faceless, tall, humanoid, walking upside down along the hanging roots. Not floating, walking like its world was the mirror image of ours. It followed our every step, always keeping the same unnatural distance. Esteban snapped. He screamed and ran toward the figure, disappearing between the fog and the twisted trees without a sound. Julia followed, calling after him. Then silence. Only Mateo and I remained. "This isn't real," Mateo said, his voice shaking. I'd never seen him afraid before. When I turned to him, he was floating. No, hanging. Suspended upside down by one ankle, as if gravity had betrayed him. His eyes met mine, empty, accepting. No fear, just stillness. I ran. I don't remember how long. The forest seemed to fold in on itself. The mist grew colder. Roots brushed my face like dead fingers. The deeper I went, the more I felt myself being pulled upward instead of forward. Then I blacked out. I woke up 3 days later in a hospital bed. They said I was found at the edge of a cliff, dehydrated, my feet torn and bloody. No one could explain how I survived or where I had come from. The rescue team said there was no left-hand path at the fork. No black trees. No sign of a forest like the one I described. They never found Julia, or Esteban, or Mateo. I went back once, months later, just to see. But there was nothing, just a dense patch of brush, impassable. But at night, when everything is quiet, I hear footsteps above my ceiling. And sometimes, only sometimes, a thin, dry root slides slowly down my bedroom wall, reaching for the floor.